Here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP Grind, episode 71. So let's go over an XP update, 303,000 attack XP. We've been working on this a little bit behind the scenes. We've actually been doing quite a bit behind the scenes. So we've got wood cutting sitting at 1,001,000. So we actually worked on that a little bit. Construction we did not touch, but it's at 2,009,000. Runecrafting 579,000. Magic we've got at 91,451. We did work on this a little bit. Mining 4,082,000, didn't touch that. Artisan 4,094,000, did not touch that. And cooking 238,000, also we did not touch this. But we have been collecting a ridiculous amount of cooking supplies. So we got quite a bit. I guess, is that it? I thought the other chest was as full as well. There it is. So we've been spending quite a bit of time collecting things that we can work on cooking. So we're actually going to go back out right now and continue to do that. I'm going to check just to see. It looks like the essence has not respawned yet, but we also hit that a little bit as well. So we've been doing quite a bit behind the scenes. I think it's important. We're going to try to do that a little bit more frequently. I think it's important. I think the reason it's important is because it's going to help push us in our progression and get those large amounts of XP faster. I want to spend a lot more time collecting cooking resources, and then I'm just going to basically shift the topic now because I'd like to talk about a little bit something else. Basically, there's a lot to think about right now if you play RuneScape Dragonwilds and you're excited about future updates, things like that. So I think the things to get excited about are basically, for me, I guess for every player it's a little bit different, but for me, I really want to focus on what I can do to essentially get ready for the next update, right? So obviously ranged, it won't really have as much of an effect, but when they sort of add prayer to the game, obviously you're going to need bones. I sort of talked about this a little bit at the very end of my last episode, but obviously it was pretty much a poor time to start talking about it. But basically, this is going to be really important to sort of have bones so you can work on prayer when it comes to the game. But I wouldn't necessarily just say that you're just getting that out of it. I feel like you're getting quite a bit. So not only are you going to be getting resources for cooking and different things so you can work on artisan and make armor and craft different things, I think you're going to get quite a bit. Ultimately, we forgot to shoot these down, but ultimately you're going to be getting more than that. You're essentially going to be getting all the different resources for all the different skills, and yes, you'll have them in large quantity, but it's just pushing you further towards really being able to unlock 99 once it comes to the game. So yes, you don't have to do it that way. You could just do it when things come to the game. It's really just based on your preference of how you like to play a game. But, you know, being a previous RuneScape player, that's pretty much how it goes. You're just going to want to push and grind so that way when the new thing comes to the game, you can experience it fully. And then, I mean, I guess I've had comments before. Oh, now that you've done everything, you're going to sort of finish it all up. What will you do next? Well, I think that more goes to the fact that I like to grind. I think that it's actually quite fun. And once we actually have all this XP and these skills, and just this absurd amount of resources for each different thing, then we're just going to basically go to the next one and just grind those materials. So nothing really changes. Obviously, it's not going to get easier as more different things come to the game. And what I really mean by that is basically it's not going to be easier when new monsters come to the game. It's not going to be easier when new creatures come to the game. Obviously, the bosses are going to get harder. So the grind will progressively actually get harder, in fact. If you want to get runite ore, you're probably not going to just be able to walk right in and get it. There's definitely going to be a threat. There's already threats when it comes to certain things in the game. Obviously, there's special resources inside the dungeons, and those have the Vault Sentinels, I think they're called. I never can remember what they're called. But basically, they are going to be there waiting for you. So I'm excited about that, though. Obviously, it provides quite a bit of a challenge because these creatures are just going to get progressively more difficult and get different mechanics that make it quite interesting. Because who really wants to just walk in it and kill everything and just be done with it? I don't really think that's fun. I like the possibility of basically how am I going to approach this creature so that way it requires strategy, it's fun, but achievable. I think those are all really cool things that we would hope to expect. and especially in a survival game. So we're really quite excited about that. And this is just pretty much what we do every time. I mean, you come out here and we're actually quite lucky. There's quite a bit of the ram and sheep. You can actually see on the horizon over there on the right, there's another group sort of spawning in. So I'm probably going to go over there and kill them as well. But we obviously want to be picking up the dwellberries, as those give quite a bit of XP in cooking. And we have been working hard on this behind the scenes to just keep collecting resources, because obviously we need to make more of an attempt to just sort of knock all this out. I thought I saw the guy with the shield. I didn't really see the ranger. I guess my eyes deceived me a little bit there. Unless he's still over here somewhere. But then he would have had to walk really fast to get by me. But basically, look at all these sheep and ram. It's just amazing. There's so many of them. I wish there was sort of something else that you could pick out here that would give you cooking XP. I'm not sure, right? Because you've got, what's it, in the fractured plains, you've got onions, and in the beginner area you've got potatoes. But I don't really think there's anything out here that you can pick that I can really think of that really gives cooking XP. But it's really not the end of the world. Obviously, that's a very small thing to really sit and complain about. So we've got that. And now we're going to go back this way. We don't really like to shoot down all of this essence, but you can actually see out there's a ton of rune essence on the ground by the one in the distance. But we don't like to shoot all this stuff down, ultimately, because it becomes a lot less fun when you basically have to come out and mine about 30, whatever is it, 30, maybe 32 stations or something. I could be way off, but basically we've got quite a bit all around the map. It's a pretty big map. So we don't want to have to just make it to the point where we spend so much time having to mine the essence, or even just shoot it down. We want it to be to a point where it's still a little bit enjoyable, because I feel like the more and more you add to the areas you're going to have to shoot this down, then that just means it's going to take that much more time to actually mine it. So, but we're basically going to go down here. And some of the areas I've got so much because we actually forgot them when we did our video a while back. We'll be sort of mining all the rune essence that we sort of had lying around. So many sheep and ram over here. So we're actually really excited about this because we're going to be getting lots of resources. And not like we need them for anything really. Just basically going to be working on cooking more. And we're getting magic XP. So that's actually quite nice as well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the game and you're excited about current updates. I talked a little bit already about the range skill coming to the game and the fact that they had released something on that a little bit ago, talking about what we can expect from it. And I think they're doing a pretty good job so far from what we can see. It seems there's like so much lightning out right now. But ultimately, originally we put all these extra lodestones so that we could sort of hit all these rune essence spots. But it just becomes too much, and I really don't want to do that much of it. Obviously, it would help us progress further, but I think it just makes it a little bit more tricky. It just takes a lot more time, and ultimately, it's a little brutal. I want to try to add a little bit more of ease to the whole situation, but obviously, really excited for Fell Hollow. I think that when we do get that update into the game, we are going to spend a tremendous amount of time actually in Fell Hollow and sort of just playing. More so than we do right now, because obviously there's not a large amount of new things that sort of are there to explore. But I feel like once Fell Hollow comes to the game, it's going to add such a new environment for the game, and there's going to be so many different things going on. So I'm really excited to basically just scour every single inch of the game. And find all the cool things, all the hidden chests and things like that. I'm sure that there's going to be new and exciting quests that we can sort of get lost in. I think that's going to be really fun as well. We've got to teleport back because it's dark. And obviously we've talked about that quite a bit. How once it gets dark, it gets incredibly dangerous out here. And we don't really want to have to deal with that right now. I don't think it's really necessary. We don't really want to die. I try not to die, but I end up dying quite a bit in these episodes. Sometimes it's preventable, sometimes it's not. But let's go ahead and go back to our base now. I should have shot down some more rune essence, but I'm not really that worried about it. I feel like there's plenty of time to sort of fix that and get more. So I'm probably not going to work on cooking in this episode. And the reason for that really is I don't really want to do that. I want to focus more on gathering. And then once we do work on cooking, which will probably be in the next episode, because even after this one, we're going to be putting in a little bit of time behind the scenes. But you can see here, I mean, we're gathering just loads of resources from our behind the scenes time. And I think there's another chest that's got some in it. I can't, there we go, there's a little bit, but that was already there. So I'm not sure, but I think there's another one of these chests that actually has quite a bit of stuff as well. So I could gather it around here again. I'm kind of bored of doing that. And then I also decided to come back to this area, which this is also another really good area where you can get onions. And also there's like 4 spots where creatures spawn, and they actually respawn rather quickly. So you've got these tearbirds, and you've also got the wolves. I actually used to spend a little bit of time here. I showed it in one of my previous videos, but I don't really come here all that often anymore, just because I've sort of got bored of this area as well. So I'm trying to keep things a little bit fresh, so I don't really get bored. I don't know why right now here I sort of get stuck in a game and I can't move. It doesn't really make any sense because I never used to get stuck right here. I actually used to go almost all the way to where you see these platforms out there. I could go that far, but now it sort of stops me. So I'm not entirely sure why that is, because I would say it's all the stuff I've got built over there, but it never used to do that. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but ultimately I can't really worry about it. The only issue is now there's a wolf on his way over here, and I won't be able to block because I cannot move. It looks like he turned around, but I think I forgot to sleep. That was pretty much the whole reason I went back to my base. I am probably going to kill a couple more creatures, go back to our base, do a little bit of an XP update, even though we already sort of did that. But we obviously just put quite a bit of time into gathering resources and potentially leveled up in a couple of them. And there's also some dwell berries right here, so I want to grab those as well. So I'd like to kill that wolf too, but I don't think I can. I guess I can still attack. I just can't move. There we go. Hopefully I can move soon so I can pick up these resources and basically then run around a little bit. I had wished that I had went to sleep, only because obviously now it's dark. It's just harder to do things when it's dark in a game. I don't really quite enjoy running around when it's nighttime. I love the graphics. Basically, I've got the graphics card set at the highest possible, and I know some people might not want to do that. It obviously puts a little bit more strain on the card itself, and it probably reduces the life. But I feel like I don't play a ton of games, so if I'm going to be playing a game, I may as well get the full experience out of it. And if it happens to sort of take away a little bit of the life out of the computer, then just so be it. Obviously, I'm trying to enjoy the game, and I feel like it adds a little bit for sure. Just being able to see all the different things. I think it changes the experience, and I'm being hunted, so we need to get out of here right now. We're not going to stick around. It's way too dangerous. But we can kill this guy. We can actually see if the Abyssal Demon has spawned. I haven't been able to find him for quite some time, so hopefully he's here, and then we can kill him. He'll actually give quite a bit of XP. I don't know why he hasn't been spawning lately. It's really weird to me. So let's go here. I mean, he really should have spawned. It doesn't make any sense to me, but we do have another rat here we can kill. So we're actually getting XP even if he hasn't spawned in regardless, so that's quite nice. Let's go ahead and see if we can see him in the distance. So I don't see the Abyssal Demon. It's so weird how he just sometimes doesn't spawn in for very, very large amounts of time. I think there's a 3-day reset on him. I'm not entirely sure. Don't know how it works. But I guess he's not here. So we will depart from this area. I will kill this rat really quick though. But I wish he was here so I could get the XP from killing him. Not really worry about the Abyssal Demon parts. Even though it's quite nice to have extra ones. I think it's just really the XP. He gives such a good amount of XP. So it makes it really worth it to kill him. So let's go over here. There we go. got the rat. I wonder when the Abyssal Demon will come back. He might actually be in the Bloodblight Swamp. That could be what that is too. I know that they've got two different ones, sort of. I've found him there quite a few times. Let's just check to see if he's around really quick before I leave. And then we're going to go... There he is right there. So this is actually perfect. So the way we're going to do this, just so we don't have to deal with any ridiculousness, is we are going to safe spot him this time. And there's a chest here. Let's grab that really quick. Some swamp tar. I don't really need any of those, but I like to check just in case potentially I do. Let's see if I can get this to go without having to jump down. Looks like I'm going to have to jump up again so that way I can change my positioning. Hopefully he doesn't go too far so that way I can't see him, which is exactly what happened. He's through the trees. Let's see if I can maybe still hit him. No, the trees are making it impossible. This is unfortunate because now I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get back down again. And I don't want to do that. There we go. He's sort of making himself a little bit more visible. It looks like we actually might have hit him. I just was not aware. Let's see. He's stuck. So we've already done quite a bit of damage. But you can see how much XP you get when you fight him. So it's actually quite crazy. But yes. So it's quite a bit of XP in Magic, which is quite nice. I just wish he spawned a lot more. I feel like it would be just better overall. So that way you could sort of farm the resources as well as XP. He's almost dead. His life bar went away because clearly we're not fighting him in a routine way. So he's dead now. But for those of you who haven't... Oh, he's not dead. He's just taken a break. And now we jump down here, but we finished him off with melee. But basically, if you haven't had an opportunity to kill him because he's been a little bit difficult for you to kill, I definitely recommend fighting him that way if you're having troubles with it. I wish there was like an area where there might be 3 of them. I don't even know if we could really handle killing 3 of them. It's interesting they're going to be wow, that was crazy, the way I just said that. But basically, I would love to see in the future, is there potentially going to be an area where there's 3? Potentially. 3 Abyssal Demons. Or are they going to reuse any of the creatures that we've got here in Fellhollow? Things like that. Are they going to reuse things, but maybe in a lots of them? So maybe goblins are still going to be in the next area, but there's going to be like 20. And if you want to try to take on that challenge, you could do that. I think that would be really cool. So we're going to go over an XP update, and then we're going to call it a day. But let's go see. So attack, 303,000, which is pretty much what we already had. Woodcutting, 1,001,000. Construction, 2,009,000. Runecrafting, 579,000. Magic, 93,000. So we got a little bit of XP in there for sure. Mining, 4,082,000. Artisan, 4,094,000. And cooking, 238,000. So ultimately, I don't really even see a huge change. But obviously, there's changes throughout. But basically, we are going to call it a day. And we hope you guys are enjoying our content, and we've got loads more to come. So, thanks for watching, and until next time, Legion Rooter out.